Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about an ever so popular note in fragrances that I keep hearing everywhere, and that is cherry. I feel like this note adds so much sensuality and sexiness to a fragrance, but it has to be done right. And I'll be honest, I am not a girl that goes for cherry fragrances all the time because my experience has been that they come off very syrup-like, or it smells like a root beer. It just doesn't smell like a fragrance, but when it is done right, it is so captivating and alluring. I'm going to talk about 3 cherry fragrances that I have in my collection that I think are beautiful. They smell incredible on their own, but I'm also going to share a couple of fragrances that create the most beautiful layering combo with the note of cherry. So if you love cherry fragrances, if you want to create some gorgeous combo so you don't just smell like cherry but a little bit more pizzazz, then this is the video for you. And as always, thank you so much for joining me on this channel for another video. Don't forget to comment down below. I would love to know, what is your go-to cherry fragrance? Maybe I don't even own it because I only have 3 here on this list. So comment down below, what is the cherry fragrance that I need to check out? One that is sophisticated and elegant and just blended to perfection. Comment down below and let's get into it. We're talking about cherry, and I picked up a cherry fragrance like 2 weeks ago, and I now want to smell every single cherry fragrance because this one has definitely done it for me. It is so exquisite. I'll get into it, but I do want to share that when it comes to fragrances, I love layering, and I'm not just talking about fragrances. I want to layer my body care products with my fragrances, so they just create this bubble of sensuality when I'm wearing a fragrance. Okay, so I will recommend to you guys, if you're looking for a great moisturizer to layer with your cherry fragrance or even gourmand fragrances, this one from Jergens I just picked up maybe like 2 weeks ago, and it smells delicious. It's almonds and cherries. Guys, smells so delectable, and it layers really beautifully with my cherry combo. So this is really great. And I also love the L'Occitane shower oil. This is the almond shower oil. I find that cherry and almonds go so well together. So I apply this one in the shower, and then I go ahead and apply my moisturizer and then my fragrances, and honey, listen, that smell is going to leave the gorgeous trail that you want. It's going to linger literally all day long or all night long. The first fragrance that I'm going to talk about is, of course, Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. This is the fragrance that I feel like really put cherry on the map when it comes to cherry fragrances. Tom Ford Lost Cherry was one of those fragrances that came out and was very provocative. First of all, the name alone kind of like, ooh, leaves you a little speechless. You know, Tom Ford, he loves breaking out of the box. And then the bottle is absolutely beautiful. And now let's talk about the scent. So this particular fragrance was created in 2018, so it's been around for quite a while. Ooh, this smells like a sour cherry. I do believe there's sour cherry in here. There's almond. You can definitely pick it up. There are a couple of floral notes in here, but the base is very warm and slightly woody also. I do believe there's also tonka bean in here. It smells very grown for sure. It's very cherry forward, but a more sour cherry. It is quite warm and woody, slightly powdery also, and I definitely pick up on that almond note. It's really intertwined there with that cherry. So if you like an almond and cherry combo, this is a great one. It is really intoxicating, honestly. You have to really like cherry because you're going to get a burst of that from the initial spray to the dry down. It's cherry forward for sure. It's one of those fragrances that leaves you a little speechless. Unfortunately, it's not the most long-lasting fragrance. I'll be completely honest. I do have to overspray, and it's one that I really have to be in the mood to wear because it's more of like that sour and sort of bitter cherry that you get in this fragrance. It's not as casual, I should say. So it's still a gorgeous fragrance. I think that it's blended really beautifully, but it's an acquired taste. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. As with so many Tom Ford fragrances, let's be honest here. I do love it. I'm glad that I have it in my collection, but I do like to mix this with other fragrances as opposed to wearing it on its own, just because I get more of that very sour, sort of tarty, bitter cherry in this particular fragrance. But I have to give it all its flowers because I feel like this really put cherry on the map. And the fact that it's been around since 2018 and it's still very popular says it all. Like, people do love this fragrance. The next cherry fragrance that I have to talk about is from Kayali, and this is a 2022 creation. This is Lovefest Burning Cherry 48. 48 means the amount of times that they had to revise this fragrance until they got it just right. So they definitely went back on the drawing board quite a few times. So in this one, I love that they have the notes right here. There is burning cherry, raspberry, praline, Palo Santo, Goyak wood, and patchouli. So when you look at that pyramid, there's definitely a lot of more deeper, woody, kind of smokier notes in the dry down, and the cherry is right on top. Mid, we have some praline. We also have some floral notes. I believe there's jasmine and also some sort of rose in here too. Love this bottle. It is so beautiful. I love the Kayali bottles. You guys already know that. Now this one is very different from Tom Ford. Very different for sure. Ooh. To me, this is a smoky cherry, but it's a little bit more playful. It's a little bit more youthful, and I don't get that sort of like deep, bitter tone as much as I get it in Lost Cherry. And there's also no almond in here, so I don't get that at all. You will get a very like smoky cherry note in the opening that will kind of hit you in the face, and then you start to pick up like these like floral tone notes, a little bit powdery also, and then in the dry down is when you get a little bit more of that woody, smoky element from the Palo Santo. I believe there's Goyak wood in here, and so this is definitely more of a smoky cherry, but to me, again, it's still a little bit more playful and youthful. I can wear this during the day. If I'm going to an event, I could wear it during the evening and I'll still feel very comfortable. I can see a lot of different age groups really enjoying this fragrance because it doesn't come off too mature or anything to me at all. But again, you kind of have to like a bit of a smokiness, but it depends on your skin, okay? So on paper, I get a lot more smokiness, and that Palo Santo really stands out on the paper. On my skin, I'll be honest, I don't get a lot of the Palo Santo, and it's not as smoky as what I get on paper, but I do have to mention it because some people definitely say that they get a lot of it on their skin. So that's why I make mentioning of the notes, but this is beautiful. It is beautiful. And there's something in there that's a little bit powdery. I think it's heliotrope, if I'm not mistaken. I could be completely wrong, but there's some sort of floral note in there that's giving me a bit of a powdery tone. And honestly, it develops really well. It develops beautifully on the skin. And I want to say that I get more of the cherry on the top than I get on the dry down. So I wish that the cherry was a little bit more consistent in the dry down as opposed to just being really at the top and not in the dry down, because this is supposed to be more of a cherry forward fragrance. But I get it slightly in the background, but all of the other notes are kind of standing out to me more. Even though there is praline in here, I don't find this leans very sweet or thick. I'm not getting a heavy, like gourmandish, sugary sweet aspect to this fragrance whatsoever. I think it just blends everything together. But that is my take on Kayali's Lovefest. The next fragrance that I have is the one that has stole my heart. I love this fragrance. I mean, as soon as I smelled it, I was like, I am blown away. This is going to be my go-to date night fragrance. It smells absolutely divine and delicious on its own, but even better when it's paired up with other fragrances just to create a little bit something. And I am just like intrigued and I want to smell everything from this brand now. This is Seven Virtues Cherry Ambition. listen. If you love a sexy date night fragrance that's giving you femme fatale vibes, go ahead and run and get this one. Because baby, she is stunning, okay? She is absolutely stunning. So well blended and rounded. It is absolutely perfection. Perfection. I love it. I had to literally DM the owner and tell her, wow, you created some magic, okay? Oh my God. From the moment you smell this, it's like, wow. You definitely get that cherry, but it's a juicy cherry. Okay, it's red, it's vibrant, it's juicy, and there is a bit of a citrusy tone in the opening with that cherry too. There is saffron in here, there's marshmallow, there's vanilla. Oh my goodness, it is just blended in such a stunning way that it really captivates all your senses. It smells grown, it smells sexy, it smells sophisticated, a little alluring and mysterious. Truly the perfect evening scent. Like, you are going out on a date, whether it's the first, second, girl, try this out, because she is a beauty. I love that the cherry is definitely there throughout the entire wear of this fragrance. It's not just in the opening, it's not just at the heart, it's literally there the entire time, and it just smells so intoxicating. Ooh, intoxicating. I love this one so much. It lasts really well on my skin and on my clothes pretty much all day long. I don't necessarily need to overspray this one, and it still lasts really well. And I find that the sillage is really beautiful in the first hour. It does die down slightly, but it's still there. It remains there, and you will get whiffs of this scent as you go about your day. So I love the performance and the longevity of this fragrance. With Kayali, I want to say it's not super long lasting, but it's definitely better than Tom Ford. I forgot to mention that, so I just wanted to kind of bring that up in terms of the longevity. You will get more hours than Tom Ford, but this one out of all the three is definitely my most long lasting, and it just smells so perfect. It smells perfect. This is how a cherry fragrance is supposed to be done. It still smells like a fragrance. You get that cherry, but it's just like blended with all of the other notes and creates this beautiful scent that is just so attractive. Okay, so those are my 3 cherry fragrances that I have in my collection that I absolutely love. Now let's talk about combinations. Okay, you want to make these cherry fragrances a little bit more unique. You want to bring some oomph to them. Let's talk about making a cherry fragrance more smoky and more woody. So I would definitely go ahead and get Cherry Ambition and By the Fireplace. These two together, oh my God. This is a unisex combo for sure. This creates a very smoky, sexy, alluring scent. Both man and woman can wear this, I guarantee you. If you're a lady, I would probably put a little bit more of this one just to add more of that sweetness from this fragrance. But both of them together, the dry down, truly intoxicating. Very intoxicating. Now, the next fragrance that I really love to pair up with my cherry fragrances is L'Interdit Rouge from Givenchy. These two together make a gorgeous combination, and honestly, any of the 3 cherry fragrances will go really well with this scent, but I would probably go more with Lost Cherry or Cherry Ambition just to create more of that cherry forward scent profile with this one. This is a more creamy white floral fragrance. It's actually very sexy and attractive, and just adding the depth of a cherry onto this scent profile, it's giving sensuality, it's giving a grown woman, badass. But with this combo, I can see a ton of different age groups wearing it. It doesn't smell too grown. It just smells sexy and alluring and sophisticated, you know what I mean? And elegant. The next one that I would combine with my cherry fragrances for sure would be Black Opium La Parfum. And you can definitely pair this up with the Guerlain Lovefest. I think this would be a gorgeous combo. Having this sweet vanillic creamy scent with this woody, smoky, kind of mysterious cherry fragrance, beautiful. Okay, beautiful. The La Parfum is very gourmand. It's very vanillic. Like, this is not really the original, you know, black opium that we know. This is definitely more creamy. It's luscious. It's very delicious and very gourmand. So these two together, I'm telling you, listen, get your notepad and start writing these combos and try it out. Now let's create a chocolate cherry fragrance. You know, imagine cherries covered in chocolate. This is the fragrance that I would pair that up with. Montal's Chocolate Greedy. And again, I would probably do it with Cherry Ambition because it's very cherry forward and it's not a super sour cherry. It's more of a juicy cherry. And I think that these two would just create an absolute magic of a gourmand scent for the winter and fall. This is going to be sexy and alluring and attractive. I'd reserve this combo definitely for more of an evening wear. Try it out. Try it out and come back and let me know, okay? If you want something a little bit more romantic and a little bit more soft-spoken, very ladylike, I would probably grab Tom Ford's Lost Cherry and Rolling in Love from Kilian. Rolling in Love is very, very romantic. It's that beautiful white floral tone. And then with that cherry note in there, it would just create such an attractive fragrance that will be quite feminine and quite mysterious and a little sexy. So try these two out. So now let's go on to two fragrances that I would definitely add with my cherry fragrances. If you want to create something a little bit more intoxicating, a little bit more provocative, very deep and alluring, Grand Soir. Okay, from MFK. This is an amber vanilla fragrance. It's very unisex, slightly leaning masculine, and honestly, you can layer any of these cherry fragrances with this one, and I think that they would create something totally different, but I think they would still blend really well. These two together, I've already layered for a date night, and they were intoxicating. I did just a little bit of Grand Soir because she is very powerful and very loud, and then more of this one. So keep in mind, whichever one is the loudest, you want to do less of so it doesn't overpower the other fragrance, and they really blend together nicely. And then the other fragrance that I would definitely recommend layering with some of your cherry fragrances is Vanilla Royale from Kayali. This stunning fragrance. Whoo! She's gorgeous. She's very lavish. She smells very expensive and luxurious. And I think adding a fragrance will just add so much luxuriousness to the scent. I would probably go with Lost Cherry as opposed to Lovefest, simply because I don't want too much of that woodiness with this fragrance. I want to add more cherry. And this sour cherry, I think, would be amazing with the scent, and they would go so well together. So that is another one. So guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and saw something new and cool today. We are all out here searching for our favorite cherry. So comment down below and let us know what is your go-to, or even one that you've been eyeing and maybe something from this video. Thank you so much for watching again. I appreciate you guys so much. And if you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok, where I upload every day over there. And I will see you all in the next video. Ciao.